All right, so what's up? It's your boy, Cool Rev, back at it one more time, Beat Thang's Electronics. Let me talk to you a little bit about sample mode. Okay, so you got your Beat Thang and you want to get sounds into it. There's two ways you're going to be able to sample sounds into it, either through the line input or through the mic input. Right now we're going to talk about the mic input. All right, so here are the basics. You got two types of mics, and either you're going to need to power the mic from the Beat Thang or you're not. The two basic types of mics are going to be dynamic and condenser. So an example of a dynamic mic would be something like this. It's like a SM57 made by Shure. You can take this dynamic mic, you can plug it up into the back of the machine, into the Neutrik connection in the back, and you should be good to go. The other mic is going to be a condenser mic, and an example of that would be something like this 414. You can also plug it into the Neutrik connection, and you're good to go. Difference between these two connections is that you can plug this in, this dynamic mic, using either an XLR connection or a 1/4" connection, and it'll still work. The condenser mic absolutely all the time needs an XLR connection. You know, a little cable like this. It's going to be the three-pronged little cable like this. It's going to be the three-pronged deal. So the reason why is because the condenser mic needs power, whereas the dynamic mic does not. So let's work with the condenser mic today. So I'm going to plug mine in. Like I said earlier, it's a AKG 414. I'm going to run this into the Beat Thang. So you can see I have the other end connected through XLR cable to the Neutrik input connection. And the reason for the three-pronged input is that one supplies power to the microphone. So big question is, how do you turn that power on? By the way, that power is called phantom power, and all condenser microphones need the phantom power, right? So to get the phantom power on, then let's navigate to the volume screen. And when you get to the volume screen, then you'll see input and output section. We're going to want to be on the input section. So I'm going to go there by hitting my input soft key. All right, now right at the top, you're going to see phantom power. And it may default to off. It may be already on, you know, just depending on what condition your machine is in. If you want to change it, of course, you make sure that your cursor is selecting phantom power. You can either do that by using the cursor buttons or using the cursor knob. And once you have phantom power selected, then use the data knob to turn it on or turn it off. Now, a quick way to notice whether phantom power is on or off is if you just look at the back panel of the machine. There's a little green LED on the back right next to the Neutrik connection, and it's the phantom power on off indication. If that green light is on, your phantom power is on. If that green light is off, your phantom power is off. Just a quick note about phantom power. There's a third type of microphone, it's a ribbon microphone, and most ribbon microphones do not like phantom power, so you got to be very, very, very careful. If you have a ribbon microphone, or if you got a friend that's got a ribbon microphone, you absolutely do not want to plug that microphone up to any power source that's going to give it phantom power unless you explicitly understand and have been told that phantom power will work on the ribbon microphone, because most ribbon microphones will be destroyed by phantom power. There's only a few of them that can use it, so you definitely want to verify that, because they're really expensive and you can end up with a big bill, because this phantom power output will destroy any microphone that's sensitive to active input power. All right, so you look in your little volume screen here, and you'll see that the phantom power is on. You also see that there's a phantom power on off indicator on the back that's also on, so we know the phantom power is good. If you use your cursor button or your cursor knob, then you can cursor down to the next item on the screen, which is the input gain. And now the input gain here is a different input gain than the actual physical input gain on the back of the device. And what that does is that gives you an extra stage of gain so that you can control the input first into the application, then into the sample mode. And you also have, once you get into the sample mode, another way to control your gain, which we'll talk about here in a second. So if you want a little additional quick and easy trim for your gain, then you can grab this input gain right here. And I think I like what I'm hearing. Check, 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 check. Yep, that's a good level right there. You'll see you should by now see a nice hot input on the input meters on the right hand side of the screen. And you may want to go and change your input configuration. So I'm using a microphone, so that's a mono input, but you can do stereo inputs too, and you can do stereo samples. You can take a mono input, turn into a stereo sample. You can take a stereo input, turn into a mono sample. You can take a stereo input, turn into a stereo sample. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my input configuration, and I'm going to leave it on mono left plus right. So what that's going to do is that is going to take an input, take a mono input, and send that mono input out to both sides. All right, so you're now going to get a big, nice, full sample. And you can see how well it's picking up my voice here. Okay, so I'm going to hit the exit soft key. And I'm going to come back to the sample mode. And now I can take a sample. All right, so the first thing you see is going to be the sample audition window. And you'll see they'll say audition sample right up at the top. And what I want to do is a brand new sample that's not in the library. So I'm going to just go and I'm going to hit new. All right, so now we have the sample record screen, and I still should be seeing level here. So I'm going to just make sure that my through button is enabled, and that's going to give me level. One thing you want to really be conscious of is this through button right here. What it does is it controls the connection of audio from the input to the output, right? So notice that when my through is off, I got no input volume. When my through is on, then not only do I have input volume into the device, but that volume or that signal is also routed back through the balanced outputs of the device. So it's usually okay, you know, if you want to record and play back in the same place, you know, if you're using a line input. But if you're using a mic input, then you want to be real conscious of the levels on your monitor and also the input level on your microphone, because you could easily create a feedback loop, as you know, it's possible in all open air recording. All right, so I got a good level happening. Check, 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 check. And you can see I got tons of input here on the gain, but you know, your input might not be so hot, even still at this stage. You still have one more way to control your gain. Or if you get to this level and you decide, oh, well, you know, the beginning was real nice, but you know, the intro, or once you get through the intro, the song just gets real hot that I'm sampling from, then you can still buffer your input with this input gain section right here in the sample record screen. All you have to do is go to the input gain soft key, and you can change that using your data knob. Watch this. Check, 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 check. If I want a little more volume, check, 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 check. And there it is. All right. So now I got a good volume. I got a good hot level. And I want to take this user sample and basically save it so I can use it on some kits later. So it's real simple. Once you got a volume that you like, once you got an input gain that you like, you hold down your record, you hit play, and now you're sampling. Check, 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 check. And if you want to hear that sample back, you hit play, and now you're sampling. Check, 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 check. All right, so let's say I want to save that sample. All I really have to do So I just hit my save button. And now I have my file sample save dialog. All right. So it's going to come up and it's going to default as new sample underscore copy. If you want to change the name completely, a quick way to do that is to hit your delete key. And it's just going to delete everything that's there. And then basically you're going to use your data wheel and your cursor to name the sample. And I'm going to call this one Rev 1. All right. Now when I'm ready to save, I just save it to whatever media that I have plugged in. Right now I don't have any media plugged in, so the only thing that shows up is device. All right. So I'm going to just hit device, and it's going to save it in the user group. And voila, I've saved a new sample. So let's say that you want to edit your sample once you've got it. You know, it's for some reason it's too quiet or it's too loud. You want to change the gain. You want to normalize it. You want to amplify it. You want to reverse it. You want to change the pitch, whatever. The way that you do that is that you're basically going to go into edit mode. So while you're still in sample mode, just hit your edit button, and it's a quick hotkey to get you into the edit mode. Now, notice that you've got record here, you got reverse, you can run it backwards, you can trim it. If you took too long a sample, you know, you can go in there and shorten it up. If you hit the more button, then you'll notice that there are other edit functions. You can normalize, you can amplify it, you can time stretch it, hit more again, you can pitch shift it, and also the auto chop is in sample mode. If you decide to auto chop it, then you can actually chop that one long sample into small little bits that you can then edit on the back end. Let's say that you don't even like the sample and you want to trash it. All you have to do is hit your edit button, brings you back to the audition sample mode, and you can hit your delete key, and it asks you, do you want to delete? If you hit the yes soft key, it'll be gone forever. If you hit the no soft key, it'll bring you back to the audition sample. And if you want to grab a sample that you already got, let's say you took 10 samples and you want to go back in and you want to take that sample and you want to take it through some more edits, then you've got a browse mode. So you can access that either by hitting the browse button or by turning the data knob while you're in sample audition mode. And what that'll do is bring you into a browse window where you can highlight the sample types or the sample groups and then scroll through each group, or you can find a group you like, come down and scroll through the samples. Whenever you find a sample you like, hit the load soft key, and there it is. Now you can edit it, you can delete it, you can do whatever you want to. That's the file management of the machine. Quick, simple, easy. If you want to save that file to a different device, hit your file button, and now you can access all your devices as well as the capability to change groups, navigate groups, name, rename, you name it. And those are the basics of sampling and sample editing in Beat Thang. So just go to beatthang.com, and later on you'll see some more in-depth tutorials on how to edit, what different edit functions do, and more on pitch bend and auto chop. Appreciate you.